what your record you would have gotten in anyway, but this is 31 consecutive NCAA tournament bids. That's been clinched. I know you like the numbers I throw out.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, like I said up there, everybody that starts October 15th, it's about winning the conference championship. It doesn't matter which conference. We've been in a bunch of them, in the last 34 years, different configurations. And that's still always the goal, win the regular season, win the conference tournament, and go to the NCAA tournament. That's what you aspire to do in October. And I remember back in the days when I used to try to figure out how many home wins we needed in the conference and how many we could afford to lose on the road. And, used to think 12-4 will get us a conference championship, So that hasn't changed. I still feel that way about what we're doing, and I'm always excited about winning, a championship in your conference.
I know we talked about the 30-year anniversary of the first conference title down at USF. But could you imagine someone telling you then in 1989 that after you made your first one, but don't worry, you're going to be in the next 30 in a row too?
No, obviously, I wouldn't have believed that. I remember losing our first NCAA tournament game, and I remember the following year losing our first game again, and thinking, all right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be in the tournament, we're going to lose, and then go home. We're going to be one of those teams. So it was like a big deal to get to the regionals. That was like, oh my God, we won 2 games. We won, and now we're going to the regionals. So during those days, you're not thinking, yeah, well, you know what, 30 years from now, you'll be like sleepwalking through the first 2 games. At least that's what people think, because you'll be expected to go to your 12th straight Final Four. That would have been like make-believe stuff. So I still can't believe the way it's played out, but it has. What can I tell you?
Why is this one so meaningful when you
Just
you
because,
have bigger goals?
Just because, you can't say to I said in the locker room, each championship means different things to different people. Our seniors are like, well, of course, this is what we do. And our freshmen are like, hey, this is really cool. I found it, I went to Connecticut, I won a conference championship. Megan Walker and Kristen, like, I'm on the all-tournament team. That's the kind of stuff that so you can't just whitewash that and go, don't worry about it. That's nothing. It'll be about the Final Four. No, this is really a big deal for these kids. So you want to make it a big deal. You never want to, make it like it's not, not as important as something coming up next. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
And for Megan and Michaela to contribute to a championship after, the freshman struggles that we've all gone through, all talked about, times and times again. Megan making the all-tournament team, Michaela, certainly tonight, great defensive effort.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not easy to be really, really good in college when you're a freshman, and even more so now than ever before. Kids come with all this hype, and they're usually not good enough. So it dawns on them, I'm not good enough. And now they've got a battle in their hands. So it's good when they kind of fight through that, and they get to their sophomore year, and they look back at their freshman year and go, yeah, I really learned a lot, and it allowed me to be able to be in this position right now. And the two of them, that they both did what they're really good at this weekend. Michaela should be able to come in and play really good defense, and Megan should be able to make shots. And that's, she didn't make as many tonight as she made yesterday, but she made a couple big ones.
Other than a championship today, did you get something out of today's game? Obviously Nafisa plays great, and Crystal runs the team pretty well, but did you find other things out about the team today?
Well, we still didn't score a lot of points, So there's going to be nights when that's going to happen. You're not going to get 90 every night. So you got to be able to win some other way. You got to be able to win with your defense. You got to be able to, maybe We're not going to make a lot of threes, but we make them when we really positively have to make them. You know, and to me, that's you don't know whether you can do that until you actually do it, until you actually see it. You know. Like I said, we got a big three from Megan. We got a big three from Kristen. They were in that third quarter, fourth quarter going in. Those are big. The championship games, those are big.
Katie did call the face of the best player in the country. I know this was something you've been vocal about. You feel like obviously this weekend certainly she helped her
She
cause.
is. She is. She is the best player in the country. I mean, let's put it this way. I'm open to suggestions of who's had a better year. So you can try to convince me, and I'll be open-minded about it. Who rebounds better, who plays better defense, and who scores more, and who's more durable and plays 40 minutes every night. I would like to know. And who's put up the kind of numbers she's put up in the biggest games that we've played. I'm open-minded. You can convince me. And if there's somebody out there that's done better than her, then I'm all for it. I just don't see it. But she's not the obvious choice. But it's okay.
She always seems to put.
She's my choice.
She seems to put pressure on herself.
She does.
And this time, she without Katie Lou even more.
Yeah.
And the way she handled it, I mean, could you even tell? I mean, because it's kind of like it's one and done at this point. She
Yeah.
feels.
She knows that, and I said in the locker room, and this is what kids don't understand, and some of them will never understand. You think that just because you go to a certain school, you're entitled to a championship, and you don't even know how to play in championship games. And the reason why we've won so many championships other than our talent, and the reason why we've won those championship games in the Final Four, is you have to have kids that deserve it. And you say, well, every kid deserves it. No, they don't. Not every kid deserves it. Because not every kid's willing to work every day from October to March to prepare for that moment. They just want to be in that moment, and they hope they're good enough in that moment. Well, Feast doesn't go into any big game going, I hope I'm good enough for this moment. She knows she's good enough because she prepares every day for that moment. So she just goes into the game. It's like, I'm having fun, you're panicking. Why? Because you're not ready for this, and I am. That's it in a nutshell. That's why she deserves everything she gets.
Where does it come from?
Well, it comes from a lot of places. It comes from parents. It comes from the way she grew up. It comes from her makeup. She just competes every single day at everything. There's never a time when I've had to say to Fisa, what the hell was that? Never. I could say, what kind of shot was that? Or, what kind of pass was that? That could be anything. But never, ever, ever have I ever said, Feast, why weren't you where you're supposed to be? How come you didn't hustle on that play? How come you didn't go after that rebound? How come you didn't show us your best self today? That's never happened. Ever. Not one day since she stepped on the court at Connecticut. And I bet you her high school coach would say the exact same thing. Because I saw it when she was in high school. And I had people say to me when she came here, really good coaches in college, say to me, I don't care who anybody else has. The kid you have is going to beat every one of those kids. And you know what? She has, since she's been here. There's not one post player or one player that she's played against the last 4 years that's gotten the best of her. I haven't seen anybody. So think about that. In all 4 years that she's been here, what game did she go in and say, she got thoroughly manhandled and outplayed by that kid? Never. Now, what happened to Baylor? Yeah, she got her ass beat. Why? Because she didn't get any help from anybody. And she didn't shoot the ball great. So, yeah, she's not invincible. She's not superhuman. But I'll take Fisa any day, anywhere, in any game against anybody.
Despite the foul trouble today, how would you assess Liv's overall play in the tournament?
Liv is Liv. She's amazingly good when she's good, and you go, wow. And then she's amazingly baffling, whatever word you want to use. Like, how does she do that? She's learning. but we're getting more of her good side, and I think we're going to get even more come NCAA tournament time. She's Liv, what? So one of these days I'm going to say, Liv, she's going to go, I got it. Got you, coach. It's coming. I can feel it. So, Liv, what? What? What do you mean? It's like Jack Nicholson in Birdcage, right? I mean, what was his name? Guy in Birdcage.
Cuckoo's Nest, One Flew.
No, yeah, no.
Robin.
No, the father, Gene Hackman, in the Birdcage. Greatest line of all time. He said, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean these two guys are Liv? Like, I don't understand. What is that? That's Liv. Every time. I don't understand. Like, what? And you saw Kristen. Kristen's the same way. I said, listen, whatever happened to that pull-up jump shot? You make them all day long in practice. Now, you just want to run 3 people over to try to get a leg. Yeah, I don't understand. You told me to go attack the basket. I didn't say storm the Bastille. There's 4 people in front of you. Just pull up and shoot like a little 10-footer. Well, I don't understand. You said attack the basket. Nuance is not their friend.
I have a theory that Kristen, I thought, had a lot more energy in the last, 10 days or so. And I had the correlation that's because Olivia's playing so well.
I don't know. You can ask her.
I did.
She'll go, I don't know. God bless you. Whatever answer you got, it's more than I know. She's just a good player that sometimes just does dumb stuff. Like, you got to attack the basket. So she goes baseline, steps out of bounds. And the next time she goes baseline, the kid won't let her go. So then the third time she goes, the kid won't let her go. I go, I got an idea. Fake that and attack the middle. I can? Oh, I'm just a suggestion. You don't have to. You can keep banging your head against that wall right there. But that's why this is so rewarding, because nothing came easy. Nothing came easy.
To us on the sidelines, or at least me on the sidelines, the defensive intensity in this tournament was completely different than anything we've seen
Pretty much.
most of the year.
Pretty much. Well, the
And-
first night was awful. The first night against East Carolina was awful. And for the first time all year, I kind of lost it on them. Because you can't do that anymore with kids, you know. Like, text home. Get me out of here. But these last two games, yeah, there's been a change in their mindset. You can see it. Change in their shoot around, change in their approach, change in everything.
And that changes the whole way.
That
you
changes
approach
everything.
The tournament.
Changes everything.
Because suddenly you have a defensive team.
You know, I said, this particular team has 2 sides to it. This is a team that you've seen some nights, like at South Florida, at Cincinnati. Okay? This is a real team sometimes. And the other side, this is a hell of a team. What's the difference? Well, what you bring right from the beginning of the game on the defensive end. That's been the difference in when we're great and when we're lousy. There's no in between with this team. There's no in between. Those other teams that I've coached, when they were good, you couldn't get a shot off against us. Forget you would miss. You couldn't get a shot. And when we were bad, you got a bad shot. That was our worst. You got a bad shot. Well, this team, when we're really good, you have a hard time scoring. When we're bad, you can get any shot you want, and nobody will be near you. That's the 180 difference. So we can't live in that middle. And we tried to for a long time. And no matter what I tried to do, it wasn't registering. And it finally registered this week. Maybe a little bit of a panic, too. You know, we don't have Lou. We can't count on, you know, all those points. We've got to dig in a little more. I don't know.
You said you went after him. Was it about the defense and just
Yeah,
the
that's
intensity?
all. That's
You told them
all.
they had to
That's
play
all
hard.
That's all I've ever done is try to get on my teams about their defense. I never complain about, you know, we don't take bad shots usually. We're not undisciplined on offense. I complain about defense all the time. Defense and rebound. Today the last couple of days we rebounded the hell out of them. Today we got more offensive rebounds than they did. That never happens with us. We shoot. And sometimes we miss because we see 4 of our teammates running back past us. Where are you guys going? Like, nobody's going for an offensive rebound. Today, we worked at it, and it was good. We got a couple. It was good. But I ain't canceling my recruiting trip the next couple of days, I'll tell you that.